I knew I was dying, and I cried out, "God, forgive me." In that nanosecond of death, I realized all that I had been given, all I had been blessed with, and I had never once thanked the Creator because I couldn't find proof of His existence. We talk about heaven is real, but so is hell. I cried out, "God, help me, help me. I who should expect nothing because I gave Him nothing, why should He help me?" Because He's the God of never too late if you are contrite. I look, John, and these three magnificent beings are coming toward me. Very tall, luminous creatures, beautiful in every way. First one, who I later found out had been my guardian angel since my birth, since my conception. The tall angel came forward and said, "Would you walk with us?" We walked down this beautiful 10 to 12 foot wide path lined with flowers of colors that I'd never seen. And I think what happens is God knows us each so intimately, He tailors our experience to the life we had on earth. So for me, when we rise up, I'm looking down on the holy city. He gave me an aerial view of heaven, I suppose, because I was a pilot. We came back down and resumed the walking, and I've always loved horses. The guardian said, "James, look," and then behind a group of trees came three of the most magnificent horses I'd ever seen. And as I'm standing there, I look up in the sky of heaven, and I see these brilliant streaks of light going straight up. And I said, "What are these?" And the guardian said, "Those, James, are the prayers of your family for your soul, even now going toward God's throne." The angel said, "Every prayer you've ever issued, ever thought, ever contemplated, is recorded in heaven." And it's not to create an I gotcha moment. When you have your life review, when you cross through the veil and you have your life review, it's to help you understand why you made the decisions you did. But I realized I hadn't seen the tall angel in a while. And so I turned to look, and the tall angel was bowing very low, and he was facing this other tall, commanding figure. It was as though this golden liquid light flowed down all sides of this magnificent figure. And the flowers that were already in bloom, when that golden light flowed over it, they bloomed again. And that light pooled around my feet. Suddenly this knowledge of who I was looking at, and I'm looking none other than Jesus Christ, the Son of God, someone that I thought was just a Jewish legend. And here I am looking at this magnificent being. And I realized then that he was what the angel was holding up was the book of my life. And it's no bigger than a cheap roadside diner menu. Mankind should have been my business. And I was just so self-consumed. And I was overwhelmed with sadness and shame. Jesus turned toward me. And he smiled at me. He smiled at me. When I looked into those eyes, and I saw such sadness for the way I had lived my life, but I also saw love for me and forgiveness. From that moment forward, whatever happened, I was his. When he smiled at me and I realized he loved me and I loved him, it felt like I was the only one that he had ever created. You know, there was that instant connection. And you'll all go through that. You are his child. You are his child.